As the 2021 to 22 NBA season approaches the halfway point, there will be no shortage of unexpected twists and turns. From non-stars making all-star leaps and a former all-star rocketing into the MVP race, an ex-juggernaut rediscovering its groove, and a pair of surprising East powers rising, the basketball world, like the rest of the globe, has given birth to one of the most unpredictable occurrences one after another. The top 8 pleasant surprises have all been collected and graded based on relevance, sustainability, and degree of astonishment. Up first, we have the Golden State Warriors' quick return to the top. Should I be shocked that a team led by Steph Curry and Draymond Green is dominant? Perhaps not. But even with those two around performing admirably last season, the Golden State Warriors were unable to secure a playoff spot. This season's expectations were clearly raised, but that was primarily due to the return of Klay Thompson and James Wiseman. Neither has made their debut yet, and the Dubs continue to lead the league in both winning percentage and net rating, prior to a 2-3 post-Christmas slump. They were cruising at a 67-win clip. To put things in perspective, 67 wins would be the second highest total in team history. On the one hand, the success appears to be organic. More often than not, the Curry-Green-Steve Kerr triad has been ridiculously effective. And the Curry-centric movement-based system can hum like it did during the Bay Area's best of times. On the other hand, this team couldn't make it out of the play-in tournament last season. They made its largest free agent splashes with Andre Iguodala, Otto Porter Jr., and Nemanja Bjelica. They added a pair of lottery choices who didn't play much, and they're now borderline unbeatable. This is not natural, people. Up next, we have Miles Bridges making the case for an all-star. Miles Bridges' first 3 NBA seasons were witnessed up close by the Charlotte Hornets. They were not astounded. They would have offered more than the 4-year, $60 million deal that he declined in October if they had been. That was a realistic offer at the time, as he appeared solid but not exceptional. Then there was this season. Bridges went on a rampage after an unnoticed 13-point debut, announcing his entrance as a budding star or someone in the same galaxy. Back-to-back 30-point-plus outbursts drew attention, and no one has turned away since. Formerly a complimentary finisher, he's now creating more offensive opportunities for himself as well as finding shooters for others and transforming into a nightly 20-point contributor. He was named the Eastern Conference Player of the Week for the first time this season, and he's kept that momentum going 2 months later. His stat line is virtually one personal best after another. He has altered his entire career trajectory, and he is the Hornets' arrow pointing up, provided, of course, that they are prepared to pay his soaring restricted free agency cost. Up next, we have basketball's best lineup. Yes, really. 212 different combinations have spent at least 35 minutes together with the association. The Minnesota Timberwolves have the most effective fivesome in the entire bunch, as everyone expected. This may not be the case with the small sample size theater, as the unit has clocked 142 minutes together throughout 13 bouts. Minnesota, by the way, is 10-3 in those games, owing in a large part of the mind-boggling outstanding two-way play of its preferred starting 5. Patrick Beverley, D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, Jarrett Vanderbilt, and Karl Anthony Towns. That roster may not read like a murderer's row, but it has statistically dominated opponents all season. It has an offensive rating of 136.9 and a defensive rating of 86.4, which translates to a nightly advantage of, wait for it, 50.5 points per 100 possessions. Will this last the entire season? There's no way. Does it make any sense? No, but Beverley and Vanderbilt are the type of low-maintenance defense-first players who can complement the high-usage combination of Russell, Edwards, and Towns. Even if Minnesota's extraordinary dominance fades, it may have discovered a beneficial two-way formula here. Up next, we have freshman points. The presence of potent scorers in this rookie class isn't shocking, but there are individuals responsible for the majority of the buckets. Cade Cunningham and Jalen Green, 2 of the top freshman picks, were slated to compete for the freshman scoring title in a 2-player race. Instead, Franz Wagner is leading the charge, scoring more points than he did in college, and is already having more 20-point outbursts than he did 2 seasons ago at Michigan. Evan Mobley and Scotty Barnes were expected to have immediate impact as defenders while also showing glimpses of offensive life over the season. Mobley is already averaging 14.8 points per game while shooting 50.1% and converting 44.1% of his pull-ups. Barnes is averaging over 5 points per game, more than he did at Florida State, and has more than doubled his 3-point attempts. If NBA teams had known Herbert Jones would be a respectable offensive player at any time in his career, they would have never had let the great defender fall to the second round. But they doubted, so they went, and the New Orleans Pelicans have been grateful ever since. He already has 14 double-digit outings under his belt, including a 26-point effort that surpassed his total from any of the 129 games he played at Alabama. In the number 4 spot, we have Desmond Bane's superpower. Desmond Bane wasted no time establishing himself as the draft snub in 2020. The 30th overall pick earned an all-rookie selection while flourishing in a 3-and-D role that appeared to fit him like a tailored suit for the next decade or so. Bane, on the other hand, had other ideas, which included presumably gaining admission to the Mushroom Kingdom and stealing one of Mario's superstar power-ups. Bane, the 3-and-D ace, is out. Bane, the 17.4 point per game scorer and consistent shot maker, is in. Despite creating more offensive plays and playing a larger role, his true shooting percentage has scarcely changed from 60% to 58.5%. He has engineered another exponential leap for a follow-up after shattering expectations as a rookie. The Memphis Grizzlies are excited to see what comes next. He's only scratching the surface of what he can be, Grizzlies coach Taylor Jenkins told Mike Verkanov of The Athletic. Up next, we have DeMar DeRozan enters MVP race. Who reaches their peak at the age of 32? DeMar DeRozan, it appears. He's been a 4-time All-Star and a stat sheet filler for the best part of the decade. But he's never been this good. He's an MVP candidate, not a fringe candidate or a sly sleeper, but someone who's in the mix and keeping up with everyone. He's leading the charge of the Eastern Conference's greatest team from one game winner to the next, in an insane box score win after another. His teams have performed better without him in 11 of his 12 seasons before this season. But when he plays, the Bulls outscore opponents by 9.7 points better per 100 possessions while being outscored 8.3 points per 100 possessions when he's not there. According to NBC Sports, Bulls assistant Chris Fleming stated he has come for the right reasons. K.C. Johnson of Chicago said he really wants to be part of a winning team. In the number 2 spot, we have the Big Cavs win big. The Cavaliers have stuck to their jumbo-sized recipe all season, at least when health has been permitted them to, and the approach is likely to have detractors. But who can argue with the results? The Cavaliers, who have been a laughingstock since LeBron James left Northeast Ohio in 2018, were within striking distance of a top 4 seed in the East and are thrashing opponents by 15.3 points per 100 possessions when rising point guard Darius Garland teams up with the towering trio of Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, and Lauri Markkanen. It's a front-court wide zig versus the league-wide zig towards small ball, and it couldn't be yielding bigger dividends for Cleveland's best. The other teams really feel that size, Coach J.B. Bickerstaff told ESPN's Brian Windhorst. Last season, the Cavs were 25th in defense efficiency. That same team is now 3rd overall and 1st in the Eastern Conference. Throw in an offensive surge of more than 10 spots, and you have a two-way formula for Cleveland not only to book up its first post-LeBron playoff ticket, but also maybe avoid the play-in tournament. And finally, in the number 1 spot, we have the Bulls' ascension to number 1. Prior to the season, Chicago's best-case scenario peaked at or just above the play-in tournament. In mid-October, oddsmakers pegged the squad for 43.5 wins, putting them in 8th in the East and squarely in the play-in hunt. Bullish fans may have predicted the club would finish 4th or 5th, but that could have been a stretch. Concerning that, 43.5 victories equates to a winning percentage of over 500, and Chicago entered Friday night with a .714 clip, which equates to a 59 win pace. The Bulls have only done it 6 times in their history and only once without the assistance of Michael Jordan. This is mind-boggling, perhaps more impressive than the fact that it appears to be completely genuine. The offense is 4th best in the league and it has likely another level to achieve now that Nikola Vucevic hasn't been as sharp as usual. The defense is ranked 12th overall with the offseason additions of Lonzo Ball, Alex Caruso, and Chicago-born youngster Ayo Dosunmu. When Chicago put together this team, more than a few people scoffed. The Bulls were aware of this and used it to fuel their rise. We took it personally, DeRozan remarked. We let our games speak for themselves. The Bulls are reciting basketball poetry, and their championship credentials are unquestionable. Well, guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Tip Top Sports, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video. I'll see you guys next time, and thank you so much for watching. Peace.